This is part two of the iPad 2 rumors and what to expect and my personal opinions and predictions. So let's just jump right in. We left on displays. There's been rumors that we could see an OLED or OLED display or LCD, which is what is in the MacBooks and MacBook Pros right now, which personally I like. It's bright, it's vibrant, it shows colors in nothing like any a lot better than any other laptop that I have ever used. The colors are really amazing on it, and I don't know if we'll see OLED quite yet. It would be nice. It would be a nice improvement, but I don't know. It's a rumor that's just barely been put out there. It was put out there a long time ago, and I just don't think we'll see it quite yet. And a Retina display is, I personally kind of think Retina display is a given. People are saying it's hard to make it in a 10-inch screen size, and I can definitely see that. But I think Apple can do it. And but it's again one of those things. iPhone 4 has it. iPod Touch has it. The iPad will probably have a Retina display, which would be very, very nice because they're extremely high resolution, durable screens, and I would definitely love to see that display. And it would improve the iPad a lot better and probably make a lot more people buy it. And another rumor is a smaller screen. Now, I do not think it's going to happen. I have no doubt in my mind that Apple will not make a 7-inch iPad. There is no point in 7-inch screens. I've saw 7-inch iPad clones. Yeah, I've raffled off an iPad clone for my class, a 10-inch one. 10 inch is good. 10 inch is good. People want 10-inch things. But when you look at a 7-inch screen, which I've looked at just for reference, the GPS in Sears had a 7-inch screen. It is small. It's small. It's not too big, but it's just too small for me personally. I like the 10-inch screen, and people complaining about bulkiness and everything, but 7 inches just is not enough if you're going to be using this for school or business. Typing on a 7-inch screen, no. 10-inch, it's okay, but 7-inch, it doesn't work. It would not. 7-inch, I mean, it's 7 inches. It's very, very, very small. And I don't see it happening at all. Another reason for that is that developers would have to design apps around a 10-inch screen and a 7-inch screen, and that's very hard to do. And they don't want to do that either. They don't want to have to design their apps from the ground up again for a smaller screen. Plus the 10 not 10 inch, but 9.7 inch, basically a 10-inch screen, is it's perfect size for most things. I think it's not that big. It's really, really not that big, and it's not that hard to carry around. And that's one rumor that I don't see happening. It just doesn't. I don't think Apple is going to waste their time on a 7-inch thing, especially if they just got rid of the 10-inch screen altogether and went to 7-inch to compete with, say, the BlackBerry Playbook or the Samsung Galaxy Tab. That it would be a very huge mistake on Apple's part. I personally, if they just went to 7-inch screen, I would not buy it. I would buy the first generation iPad off of eBay. They would lose a lot of business if they went to just that. And there was also a rumored 5-inch screen, which I can tell you right now that won't happen. There is no possible way that Apple would make a 5-inch iPad. That is really truly just an iPod Touch if you make a 5-inch iPad. That's like a iPod Touch just 2 inches bigger. There's no point in it. There's just no point in making a 5-inch iPad. And so I just don't see it happening. And another rumor of thing is that we could see a plastic back just going to an iPhone design, like a 3GS backing or polycarbonate backing, which I I wouldn't be totally against it, but I don't see it happening because the metal backing is more durable and will last a lot longer than a polycarbonate back. Because I mean, one drop on the ground of a polycarbonate backing on an iPad, and it's gone. That's $500 down the drain. At least with the metal, you're protected a little bit more, and so I really just don't see that happening at all. Um, Also, a rumor is that it could go just completely to the iPhone 4 design and be squared off. We're definitely thinking it's probably going to be a little bit squared off, a flatter backing, but I don't see it going directly to iPhone 4 design. Not, I just don't see two glass sides on it. It would. I kind of like the idea. It's kind of a cool idea, but I just don't see it happening because it's Apple wouldn't want to replicate the iPhone 4 with the iPad. It doesn't seem to mix very well. And we could also see this very very soon. Um, that within the next 100 days, like I've said before, we're expecting to see this released possibly around January 3rd to the 4th, and possibly having it's supposed to maybe possibly start shipping by the end of February, which would actually be very very nice for a lot of people to have it start shipping by the end of February. Right here, I'm gonna just read something off of an iMac screen here. Digitimes again. Digitimes reports that Foxconn Electronics factories have recently been notified that they will ship Apple's next generation iPad within the next 100 days, with initial shipments to reach 400 to 600,000 units, which Apple would probably do it just like the first gen iPad. They would ship it, they would release it and then ship it in the U.S. and release it a month later in the other companies or countries to ship because they have to stock up supplies. Um, and the sources pointed out that the iPad 2 will ship as soon as the end of February 2011. Apple originally planned to start mass production in January, but because of the device's firmware is still in testing, Apple has been postponing the schedule since Foxconn's new plants in forgive me if I mispronounce this, Chengdu, somewhere in China, are still in pilot production, and the iPad 2 will mainly be supplied by its Shenzhen plants. And so that's about everything we can expect to see in the iPad. As far as my personal predictions, I definitely think we will see both a front and back facing camera, a new form factor, no 7-inch screens at all. It's going to stay the same size. And possibly another, just to throw this out there, there's another rumor that the bezel, the black part, could be a little bit narrower and thinner, and it's a possibility, but I don't see it happening. I personally would not like it either because right now that bezel is perfect for if you're holding it with just one hand and you have your thumb is on the screen. It's perfect for reading a book because if you're in an app, I've done this on my iPad or iPod many times, is if you're in an app and you're holding it like that and your thumb just slips into the screen, you can mess up whatever you're doing. And that's why a thinner bezel, I just don't see. It's the perfect size for holding it. And so I don't really see that happening. But definitely just FaceTime cameras and the back-facing camera, a flatter back and more squared-off design. I don't see an SD card anytime soon. That SD card reader just does not seem to be Apple. And larger speakers, I'm thinking we're going to see some more better, larger speakers in it right now. And that's really pretty much all I'm expecting to see. Not and Also a three-axis gyroscope and a Retina display. I am definitely seeing that happening, and I can see the USB, a micro USB, not mini USB, but a micro USB, would definitely be in Apple's best interest. And like I said, once again, they don't really have a choice if they want to sell their product in Europe. So that's pretty much it. That's everything that we're expecting to see, what I think we'll see, and I definitely think we'll see it within the next week or so here in January 4th.